Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the drama surrounding Draymond Green and Austin Rivers. The beef between these two has reached nuclear levels over some incredibly controversial comments, and we have the full breakdown of this explosive confrontation. We look at exactly what sparked this fire, and why this feud is shaping up to be one of the biggest off-court stories in the league this offseason.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
The back and forth between Draymond Green and Austin Rivers is heating up, with Rivers firing back with some serious heat after Green made some pointed remarks about Austin Rivers' opinions on coach Steve Kerr. We break down the intense exchange where both veterans threw personal jabs, revealing exactly where the lines were crossed in this escalating conflict. But the drama isn't just about the stars. We are looking at the bigger picture for the Golden State Warriors as they head into the offseason. We examine the underlying NBA draft weakness the Warriors face and why their path to restocking talent, especially in the second round, is looking incredibly difficult right now. Finally, the Denver Nuggets' downfall is sending a clear warning shot to the Warriors, exposing a critical roster issue at the wing and forward positions. We analyze what the Nuggets' struggles teach the Warriors about size and athleticism, and what specific moves they absolutely need to make this offseason to secure their future. The simmering tension between Draymond Green and Austin Rivers has escalated into a significant controversy, reaching a nuclear level following contentious public comments. While the Golden State Warriors fans are focused on the recent playoff exit, the off-court drama surrounding Green is set to dominate offseason discussions. The friction began when Green publicly claimed that head coach Steve Kerr had hindered his career, specifically suggesting he felt underutilized offensively with the Warriors. This statement drew widespread criticism from various sources. However, one particular response resonated deeply with Green. Former NBA player Austin Rivers was questioned about Green's remarks and dismissed them as ridiculous. In response, Green addressed Rivers on his podcast, making pointed comments about Rivers' peak performance occurring in high school and further escalating the feud by accusing Rivers' father, Doc Rivers, of financially supporting him with $42 million. Rivers retaliated by contrasting their careers, asserting that Green was the luckiest player in NBA history for being drafted by the Warriors and surrounded by elite talent like Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson under Steve Kerr's guidance. This exchange highlights the extreme pettiness characterizing the rivalry. Analysts suggest that Green intentionally invites such controversy, viewing it as a tool to disrupt opponents, but warn that pushing him too far can lead to errors detrimental to both him and the team. The ongoing beef serves as a litmus test for the Warriors' organization this offseason, whether they will re-sign Green and manage the resulting off-court turbulence, especially given recent performance indicators suggesting a player decline. The consensus is that Green's behavior is unlikely to change, leaving the team to weigh the cost of managing this drama against his continued value. Expect further back and forth between Green and Rivers as the situation continues. Austin Rivers has fired back at Draymond Green following a heated exchange regarding Rivers' comments on coach Steve Kerr. In an Instagram post on Tuesday, Rivers addressed Green's remarks, labeling them as disrespectful and asserting that Green's reaction stemmed from immaturity and irrationality. Rivers responded to Green's critique, stating, "Come on, Draymond, this is ridiculous. But you know what? I'm going to address it because you crossed the line and you are mad disrespectful for whatever reason. You've been around too long. We both were drafted in the same class." Rivers further accused Green of lacking due diligence, suggesting Green's anger was unwarranted given Rivers' prior complimentary remarks on the Dan Patrick Show. The confrontation arose after Green called out the 11-year NBA veteran for expressing bewilderment about comments suggesting Kerr might have hindered his career. Green had previously remarked that it was interesting for a player drafted 10th in his draft, who was 35 and in his second act, to still hold such views. Green also brought up past contract situations, suggesting Rivers may have benefited from lucrative contracts with the Los Angeles Clippers, noting that Rivers received a significant financial assistance from his father, Doc Rivers, which Green dramatically framed as the largest bailout in NBA, U.S., and world history. Rivers countered by listing prominent figures in his career, including Kerr, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Klay Thompson, and dismissed Green's claims, asserting, "The irony of you saying I'm part of the biggest bailout in NBA history. Draymond, you are the luckiest basketball player I think I've ever seen, especially in modern-day history. You're talking about Steve Kerr hindering your career. Bro, Steve Kerr made your career." The verbal sparring between the two figures has escalated, leaving the future of their conflict uncertain. The Golden State Warriors are facing an underlying weakness in their NBA draft positioning, despite a promising short-term outlook. With the NBA draft lottery approaching on Sunday, the team has a slim 9.4% chance of securing a top 4 pick and only a 2% chance of landing the first overall selection. Even if the lottery odds are unfavorable, the Warriors are expected to secure the 11th overall pick, which should allow them to add an immediate contributor at a position needing reinforcement. This year, the Warriors will not have their own second-round selection, as that asset is currently held by either the Charlotte Hornets or the Minnesota Timberwolves. They will, however, acquire the Los Angeles Lakers' second-round pick following the Trace Jackson-Davis trade. However, the situation becomes significantly more constrained moving forward, as Golden State will not possess a second-round pick until 2030. This lack of future second-round capital presents a potential hurdle for any significant organizational reset. While the Warriors have not historically been the most successful at capitalizing on their high draft picks, they have demonstrated success in securing valuable second-round talent in the past. Recent examples include third-year forward Gui Santos, drafted 55th overall, who became a major contributor averaging 15.3 points and shooting 50% from the field during his final 29 games, and center Quinton Post, who also secured a second-round spot. The context of the Warriors' roster, anchored by Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler, means the team remains financially constrained. Under the modern collective bargaining agreement, second-round selections are crucial for organizations seeking cost-controlled contributors, often older college players ready for rotational roles. The Warriors have limited pathways to acquire more second-round picks in the coming seasons, as recent trade activity has depleted their options. Ultimately, the Warriors' draft situation hinges on their strategic decisions. If the organization decides to pursue a star like Giannis Antetokounmpo, the absence of second-round picks will be less critical. However, should Golden State opt for a soft organizational reset to restock talent while maintaining its core, the scarcity of second-round picks could become a key narrative point to monitor. The Denver Nuggets' disappointing first-round playoff exit has sent a stark warning to the Golden State Warriors as the NBA offseason approaches. Analysts suggest the Nuggets' struggles highlight a critical weakness for the Warriors at the wing and forward positions, necessitating immediate action in the free agency or trade markets. The warning gained urgency following the Nuggets' loss to an injury-affected Minnesota Timberwolves team, who secured a 4-2 series victory despite injuries to key players like Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo. ESPN's Anthony Slater recently highlighted the parallels between the two teams. Slater pointed out that the Nuggets struggled to handle the athleticism and youth of Minnesota, citing a lack of length, strength, and ball-handling skills on the wing as the core issue. Slater directly linked this to the Warriors, suggesting it is the glaring problem they must confront. In the series against Minnesota, the Nuggets' rising forward Peyton Watson was sidelined by a hamstring injury, and Aaron Gordon was hampered by a calf issue, illustrating the vulnerability of their front court. This vulnerability mirrors the Warriors' own situation, where forward options and overall athleticism have been significantly depleted. Key losses have included the injury to star forward Jimmy Butler with a torn ACL in January, the trade of former 7th overall pick Jonathan Kuminga to the Atlanta Hawks shortly thereafter, and the devastating injury to Moses Moody with a torn patellar tendon late in the season. These setbacks have left Gui Santos as arguably the only forward on the current roster, with a secure future heading into the next season, avoiding a delayed start due to major injury. As the league trends toward larger players, the Warriors' historical relative smallness remains a concern, even after acquiring Kristaps Porzingis at the deadline. Experts emphasize that size and athleticism at the wing remain paramount, even alongside having a dominant big man. The message from Denver is clear. The Warriors must learn from the Nuggets' failure and acknowledge that relying solely on Gui Santos and Draymond Green will be insufficient for next season. With only 6 players currently under contract, the Warriors possess the necessary room to strategically target specific players to address these crucial deficiencies during the offseason.